There's already some interesting stuff happening. Getting into our game, spawning here in the bottom. From Validity Gaming, our blue Terran player, it is Selkrig. And yeah, if you look at the minimap, there are some SCVs out there. In the top left, and pink from Born Gosu, what is he going to be able to do against this cheese? It is Kaidos. So it's looking like the good old 14-14-14. This is my go-to I hate TBT build. There we go. I was waiting for the gas. Or 15-15-15, I suppose. That works. So there's just going to be a ton of Reapers. Sad news for Selkrig. Kaidos is scouting. So he will see this eventually. Like he's going to get into the main base and say, hey, where's all your stuff, my Dan? What's going on here? But of course he doesn't know this is over there. And still, even when you know it's coming, if you don't do this very well, you can die super quick. Also kind of good for Kaidos is the fact that Selkrig is not taking his gases correctly. Is it just gonna be 2? Okay, I don't really know what's going on now. I thought I saw a third SCV going up, but that was just the SCV that built the depot over here. So it's just the 2 barracks, and he's only got 1 SCV on gas currently, and he honestly is close to losing this SCV. It's got next to no health over here. Actually, SCVs, Kaidos pulls a bunch of SCVs to try and stop this from happening. It could be functional. Depends on what actually comes out of here. We do have a Reaper. Oh no, a Marine on the way actually. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. He's got a bunker in production as well. Does Kaidos, and he's even on the low grounds. He doesn't even care the fact that this could be Reapers. You can get up over here if it were Reapers. So I don't really know. But it's just going to be straight Marines. He's going to try and build a bunker of his own. A couple of bunkers as well, actually. But the bunker is already up here for Kaidos. Marines are out, but SCVs actually gets the round on one of them. One goes down pretty quickly. No SCVs even got lost there. Bunker gets canceled here in the natural. So Kaidos is doing a really good job of holding this off thus far. He just had to sit back here on his bunker. He's going to be fine. So I don't know what Selkrig does behind this. He's adding another barracks back home. Surely, because eventually he's just going to want to lift, or maybe just gather up a lot of forces and try and do something. But as it stands, he's going home with some Marines. I don't know. It's somewhat of a sloppy opener here from Selkrig. It was a good idea, but I think he just got a little distracted with what he's supposed to do with his gases, maybe? He does have another gas coming in. He does have factory on the way as well, so he's got a decent amount of production capable. And one of the things kind of that happens when you're getting cheesed like this, you end up like over freaking out about it, and your opponent gets this lead just off the fact that they know what's going on. They can see what's happening the entire time. Selkrig does have all 6 SCVs in gas, so that's a ton of gas right now. He's got his starport on the way here, so it looks like he's going to be setting up for whatever he wants to set up for. He's got a tech lab on the factory, so he could be going into tanks. And some sort of powerful push off of just the one base that he does have. We already have a command center over here for Kaidos. He's got his own factory. It's got a tech lab just about finished up, so he's going to be able to go into tanks of his own. Stim is on the way here for Kaidos already, so already fixing the mistake from the last game. He's got Stim on the way before, 10 minutes into the game. I mean, workers are even, so that's nice. There was a lot of lost mining time. Is there? I know there's a button for it. No. Okay. Not going to find it. There's like the income tab, but I'm not really sure what the income graph, I don't know what the hotkey actually is for that. Let's figure that out at some point. So as it stands, I mean, it's kind of even. It's just that Kaidos has a second command center. And that second command center is kind of huge. We do have a Cloak Banshee on the way here for Selkrig. There's no preparation for this back home for Kaidos. Certainly he's going to scan somewhat soon. He's got enough energy for one already. And of course, once this command center finishes up, he'll have another scan, but he does drop a mule there. So no scan just yet. It's looking like he's content with where he is in life in this game. But this Banshee could cause a lot of trouble here if it isn't dealt with correctly or well. He's gonna have energy for one scan here in a moment. but he may drop a meal, and he actually picks up. He's going to be trying to drop with a bunch of units. Medevac is seen by Selkirk, so he knows this is on the way. We don't really see anything happening necessarily with, what am I thinking, back home to try and deal with this, and there's still nothing to deal with the Banshee. So we'll have to see what actually happens here for both of our players. Simultaneous drops going on right now. Sort of. We have a drop coming in the main base. We have this Banshee. Cloak's going to be finishing up here in just a few seconds. So it's going to walk in and see what work it can get done. At the same time, back home, or back on the other side, there's a drop in the main base coming out. The Marine just went inside and just got killed completely. No big deal there. And of course, picture-in-picture thing I wanted to use didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I'll just keep an eye on this the old-fashioned way. 6 SCVs killed here by our blue Terran player already, but the mineral line is completely excavated by Kaidos as well. Banshee still no answer for it, but it does run out of cloak energy. There's a Raven on the way. This cloak's up again, doesn't have much energy left over. This drop is still here, but it's about to get cleaned up. The biggest problem here is the fact that this entire time Selkirk has not been mining. Meanwhile, Kaidos was able to actually mine from this base over here. Yeah, so a lot of damage done on both sides. They're both at the same kind of location work-wise again. Again, the big issue is Kaidos has a second command center. He's actually got some upgrades. He's got stem. Well, actually, they both have stem. How about that? But he's got +1 on the way. And he's got... Well, it's the same army. How is this game so even? This game should not be this even. He did lose that entire drop, I suppose. So that did hurt quite a bit for his army count. But still, this game shouldn't be this even. That's really all I can say about it. There we go. Okay, figured out things now. Cool. So Kaidos is nice and prepared for this push that's coming across, but as we've seen, Selkirk, he's getting damage done where he can, and it's working out pretty well for him. I'm curious to see if Kaidos will go for another sort of drop to try and do some sort of damage on the side. We finally see a command center coming down for Selkirk in a natural. Worker counts are still pretty even. There's only the one tank here for our blue Terran player, but he does, of course, have the Banshee. But it's already a Raven here. So the Raven's going to kind of negate that air superiority that Selkirk kind of has. At the same time, there's not really many Marines for our pink Terran player. He's got 12. He's got the same amount, essentially. Anti-armor mostly does go down, but the tank is still here, just shelling away. And honestly, Kaidos, he needs to probably just back up, regroup himself, and he'll be just fine. He does have a tank lead. He is at home. He's got a Viking even, so you can't just take the Viking and the Raven, which he's going to do now, and get rid of the Banshee here. And once that's gone, there's nothing in the air to really help for Selkirk. Oh, Raven. Okay, Raven turns around. Command center back home is finishing up for Selkirk, so he's going to finally have his own natural base. This 41 workers to 31, but there's no third command center. This production is just in such a strange array of locations for the pink Terran player. He's got a single tech lab currently. And then just a bunch of naked barracks. He's adding another Raven, actually. But a pretty low army supply for Kaidos, all things considered. There is a turret in the main now, so this Banshee that is going to be walking across the map shouldn't be able to do too much. That, and it wasn't repaired or anything, so it's going to... if it goes in, it's going to die really quick. +1 attack, +1 armor on the way for Kaidos, +1 armor on the way for Selkirk, but I think he finished +1 on attack. Yes, he did. He's got +1 attack already. Yep, that died super quick. There goes that Banshee. Yeah. Both players just getting back into what a TVT is. Waiting each other out. Drop comes here for Selkirk on top of the third base. The third command center is going to get at least probably canceled. There isn't a lot over here for our Terran player. He's going to walk in with the rest of his army at least. So you'll be able to deal with this. Doesn't want to lose that medevac. So Command Center did get stopped at least. Ooh, and the armor missile. Doesn't do a lot of damage though. Command Center does get stopped in production. And we do have this third center. It's going to be finishing up relatively quickly here. I'm just looking at chat. I did turn up the game sound, so hopefully it's a little bit better. It was low the last time I did a cast, but I turned it up from there and thought it'd be fine. But I think my mic is just a little bit louder than it needs to be, honestly. Cellcraig's army is looking pretty nice already. He's got his +1/+1. He's got +2 attack finishing up shortly. He's got the requisite marine upgrades. He's got a decent amount of tanks. He is low, really low on medevacs. He only has the 1 right now. Actually, he does have 2. Okay, 1 just finished up. And Cellcraig's going to be going to his third command center himself as well. Kyle's on the other side. His +1/+1 finished up. He's got stim. He's got combat shield. No +2/+2. I don't know if he actually has an armory built. He doesn't seem to have one built. Major army push coming in for Cellcraig. Again, a really low amount of medevacs. But there's not a lot of army over here for our pink Terran player. The scan kind of shows the hand. The tanks are completely unsieged, which could spell a little bit of a disaster here for Kaidos. Cellcraig stims on in, gets on top of one of the tanks that was unsieged, killed off one that wasn't even paying attention as well. 2 tanks in the back do siege up, but this does kind of cut off the main army from the natural base. Cellcraig with the 2 tanks here on the ramp got a decent spread over here. Takes out a lot of these Marines. This Viking here takes out the last medevac for Cellcraig. So Cellcraig, again, not having a lot of medevacs is really kind of hurting him. Kaidos has a decent army still left over that wasn't even paying attention to this fight. But it is difficult to get in here. So I have the 2 tanks. 1 tank did unsiege and move forward, but it is sieged again. The anti-armor missile, since these are so low health of Marines and no medevacs to help, it actually does a lot of work there. 5 kills on that Raven, and I'm pretty sure it all just happened right there. Moving in with the entire army now, gonna get on top of this. Doesn't even need to stim, he says. Just cleans it up and takes a nice 30 supply lead. Upgrades for Cellcraig may be the shining thing for him. He may be able to take a victory off the back of just upgrades alone. But Kaidos, going to push out with what army he has, which isn't a whole lot of army. Really needs to add on some production here. He did add on a bunch of barracks over here. He's adding another factory as well, but without the add-ons to help out. That will do a lot. There's a bunch of tanks over here. As soon as I see this, oh my god. Ooh. Just the medevacs, they're jerks. They run faster than Marines. They don't take the same path as Marines because they fly through the air. They get in front of the army, and then they just die. Cellcraig kind of worried about a drop, perhaps. I was looking around for one of those to come in. No such luck for him. Would have been nice for him to be able to see that, but it didn't actually happen. Cellcraig is actually in a pretty good spot at this point. His upgrades are better. It looks like his macro is a lot better as well. He only has the 1 factory still, so that could turn into a disadvantage much later. And we do see a 4th command center being taken by Kaidos, on location even. So no cares at all. She's sending some SCVs down there to mine as well. No drop play from either player, really, past that opening salvo from both of them. There aren't a lot of turrets, really, anywhere on the map for Kaidos. There's some Marines back home for Cellcraig kind of waiting for the possibility of drops. But there's no turrets in the natural, there's no turrets at the 3rd either. You do see the 4th command center coming up for Cellcraig. He's got a large force of Marines moving over to the right side, going to try and get some work done, but there is a tank here. Oh, it does, no! It unsieges. It unsieges to go away. There's a couple of SCVs that might scout this out first. Actually, he just sends a small amount of these Marines. They're going to stim in there, and they could get a lot of worker kills. A lot of scans going down. Actually, all of the army is moving away from the same time. There he goes. He stims forward, goes into this 3rd mineral line. How many SCVs kills can you actually get? SimCity kind of hurting our pink Terran player. He loses 10 SCVs really quickly there. That Marine Force will get cleaned up. And the work count actually, because of that, is only even. Kaidos does leave a tank over here this time. So this next force that could come up could be shot down at least by the tank. Drop is loaded up by our blue Terran player, so he's going to be able to actually do something interesting for change. So we'll have to see some drop play coming up. Does he know that this is... He doesn't know this base exists just yet. He's going to run directly into it. That's going to be a big deal. And the main army for Kaidos is moving out on the map. I'm curious how much of that he's going to bring back. He doesn't really have anything at home. He's actually rallying across the map as well. Drop does come down here at the 4th base. Same time, movement on the other side, but those units get shelled out by that tank pretty quickly. Drop goes into the main. Main army does not care. They're going to go ahead and just go for the main base here. Seeing what they can get done. Actually, if you just go for this could turn into a small bit of a base trap, but there's not really a lot of units actually doing anything for Selkrig in the main base. 3rd base gets lifted off. That's so many tanks, so much bio here for Kaidos. That is a huge army, but he really can't do anything other than get rid of that army, make them push away. Meanwhile, 17 SCVs have died. Kaidos hasn't done anything to deal with this. He's trying to push forward, but he's just losing units, just bleeding units off left and right. Pretty much everywhere on the map, not able to do really anything about it. And he's just... Selkrig's gonna push it here with all of his SCVs. I don't really know if he needed to do this, but he felt like he needed to. He loses a bunch of SCVs. Doesn't really get anything. It's actually a couple of Banshees here for Kaidos. Gonna go after the tank. And there's nothing here to deal with this. There's 2 command centers that are lifted in the air. Scan does go down, takes it out, but the tank dies. Finally, that Marine gets cleaned up. The drop has been cleaned up as well here in the main base, so that's finally over. And now we just have the main army here from Kaidos posturing on this side of the map. He's got a pretty decent supply lead. He did pick up 2 medevacs worth of units, did Selkrig, but he's choosing not to actually do anything with them. I think that may have been just an accident, it seems. But both players lost a lot of workers. Actually, what is this medevac doing? He's just chilling over here. Kick it back home to his friends. He's just going to be over here for a while. That's hilarious. Selkrig is unable to mine, which is quite troublesome for him, I imagine. And just looking at the income tab, you can see this 4th base being up, despite losing as many workers as he did, is quite a big deal. 3-3 on the way. Going to be finishing up here in a bit for our pink Terran player. That medevac that was lonely did just die. Actually, it wasn't even that medevac. It was something else. Is he just going to pick up and go into the main base? Or the natural? Stop the Marines from moving. At least. Oh, he picks up. Okay. Is he going to go for this? Is he going to go for this? I don't know. I don't know, Kev. It's possible. Got a bunch of Marines trickling around. Actually, the medevac spots this happening, so he knows it's coming. He's going to try and get over this with some Marines and try and take them out, but not quite able to do that. And still, of course, this main army exists over here for Kaidos. That's a lot of medevacs worth of units. Going to be dropping. They're all going to be taken out, though, if he isn't careful about this. He just boosts away, thankfully, so he doesn't lose all of that. Same time, he's going to stem over here and get on top of these tanks. Doesn't even care about bringing his own tanks along for the ride. Just cleans up most of that army there. There's 1 tank left, so it's going to be fine. Meanwhile, drop at the 3rd location here by Selkrig. Gonna do a little bit more work over here. But again, he's not really mining. He's got this base on this side. Kaidos finally dropping these units over here. Gonna get some work done with that. This little contingency force over here getting some work done. Oh, tanks on siege for quite a long time there. Just kind of waiting for Kaidos to actually walk in with that force that is on the right into that 4th base location. It is just an orbital, so you could get quite a bit of work done there. The Banshees here are actually doing quite a bit. But there's just nothing in production for Kaidos. He's got a ton of money. He's not supply blocked. He's just not building anything. There we go. He finally does move in with this expeditionary force, if you will. They're getting on top of this 3rd base, doing a ton of damage. All of this SCVs are going to die. This command center is going to die at the same time as well. But Selkrig's like, alright, you're not going to do anything about all of my stuff over here? I'll just come over and kill everything then. Force may finally get cleaned up over here. More Marines have walked in, but they were on move command, it seems, and they're just trying to get over and do something over here. All the tanks do remain for Kaidos. I think he's trying to bring back his Marines, but he hasn't really done it just yet. This is just such a strange game. Both players just struggling with the multitask that is required. Again, oh, that's possibly going to work well. Really done, nicely done there by Craig. Picks up units, drops them right on top of the tanks. The tanks were pretty much completely unprotected there by any Marines. All the Marines are just gone. There's a few left over, but there's really not a lot. Still, Kaidos has not been able to deal with this. There's 2 Marines. It's 2 Marines. Another drop goes down on 3 tanks here. Both players just losing everything they really possibly can. We're down to 87 supply to 64. Craig has 63 of that in army supply. He only has 24 workers. Is he even mining anywhere? He's got a little bit of mining going on. That is natural. He's got 16 workers for 8 mineral patches that are about to run out. Mules actually dropped to try and repair this barracks. Craig extends forward, takes out those last few tanks there for Kaidos. Kaidos has so much money, he's just not producing anything. His factory in his main is just idle. These 2 starports could be making Banshees, could, I don't know, throw down anything. Just nothing is being done here by our Pink Terran player. Large force moving forward here for Craig. He's going to take out this, what is the 5th base location. Sieges up with these tanks. I mean, there's a lot of Marines being made by Kaidos, but he's not making anything else. We've got 2 Banshees in production finally, but he's lost his entire tank count, which is really difficult to deal with at this stage of the game. There's 3 tanks here for Craig. Kaidos going to stem forward, try to get on top of this, but not able to do so. He doesn't actually kill any of those tanks. Loses essentially his entire army. I think his entire army is in production. He's got 10 Marines and 2 Banshees. 3 tanks here left over, 4 Marines, excuse me. The single medevac. There's the bunker back here. Still from early in the game. We got 4 Marines. Where is everything? There's a medevac here, there's a medevac here. Tanks just slowly moving forward. Banshees coming in. They need to be careful. They don't want to get sniped off because those could be heroes, but he doesn't even cloak. There he goes. Cloak goes down. Finally, he does scan though. He will be able to take those out if he focuses them, and he tries to. Barely gets away, but he's gonna pop back in and die, and now there's nothing left. 10 army supply. It's all in production. There's nothing left for Kaidos here. And he's got a planetary. If he keeps rallying all of his units back to his main. So they're just gonna walk into their deaths. Another command center falls for Kaidos. Craig has retaken the base down here, so he's starting to mine again. Banshees, actually, again, the Banshees are such an important unit at this point in the game. Take out the last tank, do it! It needs 1 shot! Oh, come on. Kaidos, I think, realizes that the Banshees are about the only thing that's going to keep him in this game. He needs to keep this alive, but at the same time, Craig just needs to save some scans here. He's actually out of scans at this point. But the Banshees look like they're also out of energy, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Now Craig's going to walk in. Actually, there's a tank up here. So that tank gets some shells off. Kills off quite a few of those Marines that walked in. Another Banshee does pop. May die. Actually, it just walks right past the Marines. 2 Banshees do come in, try and deal with this. But 3 Marines trade pretty well against this, and these aren't cloaking. This one can cloak, but it's just not doing so. He's going to lose that. That's bad. 80 supply to 40 at this point. Just not really any production here for Kaidos. But he's still in the game, still trying to see what he can do. He does have this planetary that's going to be difficult to do anything with. More Marines going to probably just walk into their death. Actually, just barely out of range of that tank. Out of vision of that tank, I should say. We're not out of range, but we're out of vision. Marine numbers, there's even enough Marines here for Craig. He can just take these out pretty quickly. SCVs got pulled as well, but a little late to the party. All the Marines did die. Ooh, gonna walk into the tank there. More and more SCVs gonna fall here. So it's kind of just, it's all over but the happening of the letters that need to be typed. Honestly, Craig, if he just needs to bring these tanks down so they can start shelling away at this planetary, and he'll be able to finish up this game. Command Center did get lifted by Kaidos. As long as he has a planetary and Suckreg isn't doing anything about it, hey man, it works. We're still an Omni in here, gonna get on top of more production. There we go. GG from Kaidos. What a game. What a game number 2 there from our players. Series will be tied up 1-1. What a comeback. Really, on both sides, there were multiple comebacks over and over and over. That was ridiculous. Hey man, that's what happens. We'll get into our third game in a bit.